Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Today's reading is going to be about what is coming in 2020. And I want you guys to do a little test right now. I was listening to some great psychiatric experts earlier, and I love this premise of writing down I am 10 times and then following it with 10 adjectives that you think currently describe you. And then right when 2020 hits, save that list and revise that and see what changes came about. So be honest, whatever comes to you, first of all, and it can be more than one word. If you can say whatever, I am patient, realistic, generous, flexible, nurturing, thoughtful, tolerant, whatever, open-minded, all of those things that come in, the first words that come to your mind, and then put that away somewhere and then open it in 2020, which is just down the road, and rewrite that and see what comes out and what changes come about, and see if you can really just think in alignment with every positive word, like intelligent, flexible, optimistic, helpful, cooperative, all of those type of things, and see what newness kind of springs in with that. I was just thinking about that today because we all set this idea that, okay, on the 1st of January, I'm going to make a promise to myself. I'm going to do something that's spectacular for myself, that makes me have a more generous nature, that makes me more careful and caring for myself, courteous, focused, mature, sensitive, whatever it is. But it's my way of thinking of, why aren't we starting that today? If it's important for us, our health, our benefits, our mental, our spiritual growth, why are we waiting to the 1st of January? Where did that come from, and why would we hold off with anything that would benefit every aspect of our life? So let's pretend that tomorrow is 2020. What would you do differently? How would you start your day? How would you be more creative? How could you picture yourself? Would you, be sipping sangria and capri, listening to music and dancing? Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? All of that. Start to live that in your mind right now. Start to think that. What could you possibly do today that's going to put your foot in that direction for a better tomorrow, for better long-term, short-term gains? Be really, really honest with yourself and realistic as well. Be goofy, be creative, be accepting of all, our funny little nuances, anything that we can, and then take practical steps to implement that. A lot of times as a creative, I can overwhelm myself, so I have to actually write down and look at it. Today I'm going to create this piece that I am making for this person, a turquoise collar, whatever it is, and I start to work in that direction. So start to do things that motivate you with a passion. So we have 3 choices today. We have the Pendragon, which is pure male energy. We have number 2, which is Melusine, which is love who you are, leave who you are. Bye. I gotta be somebody else. Love who you are. The Time Guardian. You have time. I love to reiterate this with all my viewers, all my clients, everybody. I always say you have all the time in the world, all is well. I use that for myself too, because my one biggest irk is being rushed or hurried. If somebody's like waiting in the car for me, or they're beeping, or I feel I'm behind, whatever, being rushed agitates people, right? I like the flow of time to be with ease and not be super structured. I can be sensitive to that, and it really I'm keenly aware of time when other people's are pressing it. And I really don't, that's why I don't like appointments and things like that. I just like the ease of time to go with a graceful, natural flow. And that being said, I'm going to let you guys take a deep breath and choose your card. There's lapis, turquoise, and river jasper as well. And there are numbers 20, number 1, and number 7, if you also like sometimes to choose your birthday, whatever it is, the imagery. Some people have been asking me, Melanie, can I choose all 3? Absolutely. In fact, I usually recommend that people watch all 3 and then take what resonates with them, because it's all energies that are all pervasive, and it can be anything that we're reaching for. We put our concentration, our effort in, it can be ours. So whatever we want to tap into, whether it's being more affectionate, more broad-minded, more capable, more conscientious, moderate in certain things, vulnerable, invulnerable, steadfast, polished, it doesn't matter. Humorous, all of that. A lot of people have the funniest ideals that they set for 2020. It's like a lot of it has to do with weight loss. A lot of it has to do with visiting their creative side, all of that. So again, why would we pin this on a certain day to begin these life life-changing aspects when we can really do it today. So we're going to start with Pendragon and see sort of what's going to be coming in. And I'm hearing the word right now, diligent. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to put some beautiful, diligent effort into firstly articulating exactly what you want within your family unit and relationships, at work, all of that. You're going to be, really straightforward, tolerant of whatever everybody else is doing, but you're going to be tough and unassuming that all of this is going to align by any given time, but you're expecting it. I feel like this group too, there's a lot of versatility and charm in your personality. So again, you're not breathing down the neck of time or others to make everything happen the way you want all the time. So let's see what your first card is. So lapis lazuli, that's crazy. I took three. That's so weird. I just like crazily shuffled the deck, whacked it down, took 3 cards out, and then this came up with your lapis. I feel like this would have been, self-knowledge is also greatly communicated through our voice. The lapis lazuli is our throat chakra stone too. So we say what we mean. We are solid. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. Insightful intelligence is going to be coming to the fore for you. You're really going to have a lovely liberal mindset, very generous. Sure, you're willing to do things for others and all of that. But again, remember the bank analogy of you are not going to let everybody constantly take withdrawals while you're doing all the deposits. You want more equality in these conversations, relationships, and work. I have a lot of clients that say, they always have this 1 or 2 people in their company that are just there solely to get a paycheck, and they opt out completely. Otherwise, they do the bare minimum. It's very frustrating for other people that work there. Now people are speaking up. There's no reason we should have to have other people's workload, come in early, stay late, come on their sick days when they're just, there to collect a paycheck. You want a nice, peaceful kind of balance at work. And I feel like you're going to have a nice, really kind of sympathetic crowd around you, because I feel like you work hard, whether at school, whatever you're doing, and people are really seeing that. And, they want you to have a more lovely time, but you're going to be really courageous about speaking out what matters, what you're going to tolerate, what is unacceptable, and what you'd really like. And that's important, because oftentimes if we just settle and we don't say anything, everybody thinks it's fine, right? And it can be sometimes that squeaky wheel gets the oil. So we, closed mouths rarely get fed. So we need to speak up. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, a brand new sparkling monetary moment for you, where it is just a waterfall of abundance and a cash influx. A lot of you guys are going to be having new revenue streams because you're a really skillful person. You're social, you're skillful, you have this pioneering spirit, you're very independent and super, super decisive, but also discreet about things. It's like, I feel like in the workplace, you're not there to gossip. You're there to do your job, and you do it excellently, and people are taking notice. And if you are wondering about going off on a little adventure for yourself to bring some money possibilities, they are going to work out really well, and they're going to prosper. So if you have any ideas, please implement them. They are going to take off in 2020 to a pretty epic scale. New ideas, super innovative, really amusing for a lot of people. They love it. Again, it's like you have this lovely kind of understanding and magnanimous nature that, let's have fun. Let's have a good time. And of course you have, oh wow, this is crazy. You planting the seeds, then you're collecting it, and then boom. What happens is, as we get the ball rolling towards success, emotionally, spiritually, or otherwise, us believing in ourselves, knowing we're divinely guided, spirit has our back, we're able to get all our ducks in a row. And this was sort of my process too, when I was like, what, it was my Sun Tzu Art of War, that when I pulled all the ships to my shore of doing what I wanted to do, be self-employed, I burned those boats. I wasn't going back. I was never going to be working for anybody else again. I just knew it. I have too many creative insights, and it's like, I can exhaust myself. If I'm working for somebody else and everybody else sees the capacity of work I can take on, they just start, just doing less and less and less. And I would really burn myself out. So I knew that right away, and that's going to be sort of yours. You are not going to fail. This is going to be an epic, epic adventure and year for you financially, adventure wise. I feel travel is definitely in the cards for you guys. A lot of you guys have been wanting to go to Egypt, the Maldives, like all over the world, Australia. I feel like a lot of you guys just really want to travel. You're going to be able to do that and have the finance chances for it. A lot of you guys, you know, your soulmates are just coming in kapow. What happens when you get that beautiful momentum and success and you're able to use the law of attraction because you're optimistic and most of all, you have a lot of gratitude in your heart. What happens is you are then gifted these things because you're deserving of them. You're also looking for them. You're looking for them. You're looking for the opportunities and you have the wherewithal to go pursue them and be successful in that venture because you planted the seeds, the ideas. You're wonderful. You know, you are showing great affection for your work and it's captivating to other people. So you're going out in a blaze of glory, collecting all these rewards. Fantastic energy, group one. I'm loving that for you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below if you want a private read. Yeah, communication. My Etsy store is down there. I have all my goodie rings and stuff that you guys love down there. Thank you for my new patrons coming on and supporting my channel. If you guys are unfamiliar with that, our Patreon page is where we have extra tiers where we do different things, private readings for people over there. You know, they get first looks at things and it's just a really wonderful way to support the channel and have a lot of fun too. And I want to thank you guys so much. Your viewers, your subscribers, you guys are absolutely amazing. I'm excited. It's that thing where it's like, I feel sometimes, you know, that pure male energy can be the drive, that plucky, let's do this. Let's, you know, show appreciation for everything around us, but go, you know, and that keen mind where you can really just set out that blueprint for success and you don't stop. You just don't. You're not. And people are really cheering you on and trying to help you and they can't believe, you know, first you have that modicum of success like in the first month or two and then all of a sudden, boom, it just skyrockets and it's unbelievable for you. You know, you're very multifaceted. So you have a sense of, you know, courage and pride because you're amazing and other people are beginning to see that. So I love that. So now we're on to Melusine, which is love who you are. This is the first stop, right? This is the first thing where you look in the mirror and you go, yes, I am capable. I am personable. I am persuasive. I am profound when I want to be, quick-witted, rational, mature, meticulous, loyal, loving, everything that can make you feel good about yourself. In the last video, I was talking about how we leave a resonance in a room. We leave an energy when we leave, right? So if we say something kind, loving, and heartfelt, and affable, and affectionate, it leaves this beautiful vibration that's like a benediction, a hug, love for that group, this beautiful, peaceful vibration. So you're going to start to emanate that because you feel that love within you. And because you're loving yourself and you're at a peaceful place, you're not in any kind of rat race. You don't care what the Joneses are doing. You don't care what anybody is doing. You have a sincere, beautiful goal to be in touch with who you are and you're discovering that very beautifully and you're determined. But again, it's like you come across as very dignified and balanced. You're not trying to compete with other people. You're doing these beautiful, thoughtful gestures. People are happy to be around you. You emanate this kindness and grace and it's going to hold you in good stead. And now you have the something wild card. I love that with 11s. So it's saying really sense what's coming in the air, listen to the wind. Do you feel anything that's different right now? Is there any kind of messages? Pay attention because the winds of change are definitely coming right now. I feel that you're going to take a deeper look into everything that's around you. Look under, you know, the little fairy rocks, you know, fill your senses with the essence of spirit and feeling good. You're going to want to know about the mysteries of life. You know, this is a time for great potential growth for you with 2020. It literally is like this portal that opens, boom, all this really kind of gorgeous dynamic energy comes in. It's eloquent, it's exuberant, it's friendly. It's that age of Aquarius where everybody is so filled with love and light that it's like walking into like some kind of weird twilight zone where you're like, why are people not aggravated? Why are they not short-tempered? Why aren't people shooting dirty looks? This is people waiting in line, talking, having great conversations, laughing, holding doors for one another, smiling, getting away from their phone, brilliant, like bright-minded conversations going on while people are waiting in line. People being clear-headed, considerate, you know, curious about other people, not all in their own little shell, glued to their phone in their own little self-serving worlds. That time is gone by. You know, now everybody is kind of pioneering to come back out of that freaking phone coma and that little isolated area where we can have a million people around us and be completely lonely because we're not tapped into that energy. But now is the time for that. Something wild where you literally just feel like, you know, it's like that kid in the grocery store when it plays music, the child that starts dancing and they're so joyous and free. So you have the 5 of Wands. So there's some stuff that can be going around you. Hanged Man. and the Six of Cups. Okay, so right away, what I'm hearing with this, fives are usually cards of conflict. And when you have wands, it's defensiveness, it's cross passions, it's cross purposes. So what happens is right now, you are going to be the number one fire quencher. You're going to be able to like stop things with very, very perceptive, peaceful skills and patient skills. You're going to be the problem solver at work within your family. You're going to diffuse situations that are over passioned, over, I feel like at Christmas, anybody. What happens sometimes when people come at a conversation and they don't have very high emotional intelligence level, it gets very kind of finger pointing, blame, you did, all of that. And when anybody plays the blame game, defensiveness goes up and nothing gets solved. But you're going to be able to be kind of like a counselor for friends, family, and other people and say, listen, if we approach this on this way, people are not going to be receptive, right? People will be overly sensitive. And now, you can kind of deflate this strong energy that doesn't get anybody anywhere with, really broad-minded, brilliant diffuser. It's like you just know what to say and do to calm the waters. Because what happens is, and I've noticed this, directly after Christmas, people start to get fired up because they want these changes. They want to do things a certain way. They want to care for themselves. They wish they didn't overindulge in drink, food, and everything else. So they have all these things talking at them, usually ego-based. Oh my God, you had that. Now you gain weight. Now you spent so much money on Christmas, this and that. It's kind of like that Christmas Day is that huge peak where everyone's excited. It's adrenalized. Everyone's getting all these gifts, all this stuff. They're overindulging in everything. It's a very rich, food-fueled day. And then all of a sudden, boom, right before New Year's is that deep valley. I overspent, I overate, over everything. It's like the devil card. And people get very testy. So you're going to be like this beautiful helper for everybody and calm the waters, help everybody with a really determined, gorgeous, kind of like fearless way. And people are going to they're going to remember this at work and other places. And right here, the Hangman, this is saying just take a pause, and you're going to be able to do this around the holiday times. Take a pause, and you're going to get more into that beautiful shamanic kind of headspace where you're like, if we go about this in a very simplified way, things are always achievable, they're always solvable, they can always be compartmentalized very wisely, because we're not trying to approach everything at once, right? Like if I have to make jewelry, do a painting, write something, make a video, and deal with clients, I don't just start doing everything at once, right? I go, well, what needs my attention first? And what am I most in the mood for? Where can I apply myself the strongest? And then I make a list and I go about it that way. And that's this Hangman moment where you're saying, where am I going to be the most effective? Because we don't want to be busy. We don't want to be crazy, but we do want to be effective. And this is helping you be effective. This Hangman pose where you stop everything, you kind of bring everything in, then you're able to articulate what you want. You're able to have compassion for yourselves and others. You can be courteous, insightful, and all of that because you've rested. Oftentimes, if I'm gearing up, if I'm approaching some manner, say I'm dealing with some clients, oftentimes I have anxiety clients. So I go to all the newest expert level advice and writers and read up on that and see what some of the newest studies are and what has come from those studies. And if the results are really successful, and also, read descriptions, how they go about what they're doing, because that's very important. First of all, anybody who has anxiety, which I know a lot of my viewers do, it comes from overthinking. It comes from these heavy sword moments. I have to do this. I should be this, blah, 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 blah. Your ego is chatting at you. Your head is going at you. And what happens is you just are a whirling dervish of, craziness. Like I've had people say, oh, I don't know. It's like, like the weirdest things that come up and like, I don't know. I feel like I'm a communist. I'm like, oh, really? Do you think that's true? Like crazy things. Like the people don't like society as it is. So all of a sudden they're so turned off by all of this stuff where they're just going crazy. It's like a bubble tea of insanity. You know what I mean? Like you just can't even pinpoint what's going on. So we have to slow our roll, and you're so able to just coalesce all these thoughts beautifully and be calm about it and have a balanced emotional state. That's going to be your coolest kind of thing right now. You're going to believe in yourself. You're going to be eating healthy. You're going to be really comfortable in your own skin, absolutely appreciating what you have. You're happy to stay still in your home, your nest. You're happy. You're living with passion there. You already learned from your mistakes. Stuff doesn't make you happy. Spending making money doesn't make you happy. You want to spend time in nature. You want to have an open mind. You don't want to worry about the future. You want to hang about. Avoid over analyzing. And that's how you're winning, because these people have overanalyzed. So they think that person's out to get me. That person's talking smack about me. That person's doing that. Then they're in attack mode. You're the one that's like, nobody's doing any of this. You can diffuse it. Wham. Again, overactive imaginations and hyper analytical minds can be a destructive force. So all we say is stop. What can I see right now, say right now, read right now, listen to right now that is beneficial for my mental health? Oftentimes it's like mantras. It's that wonderful low megahertz music and sounds. And I just read certain words. I like to read colors. Like I wrote down this color chart and I felt better. It was just things like saffron, pearl star, daisy, honey, gypsy jades, cinder, glacier islands, blue sapphires, Mojave sand. I read these colors out loud because I love colors and I love anything to do with colors and mixing them. And, the like cinnabar, all those rich dynamic colors. When I think of colors, I start to really, really ground out and feel peaceful. So you're going to have things that help you. More often than not, it can begin with jazz, reggae, a beautiful voice, a harmony that brings you down and grounds you out. And you're really going to get into this emotional state. You're going to expand your comfort zone. And it's no more limitations for you, because you want to live in the moment. And your number one thing that you're doing is releasing the need to control things, which is bringing this bright, beautiful, shining kind of energy into your life right now. And you have, good fortune coming in with Alexandrite. I think you're at an optimal head and heart space that's coming up. You're doing things that are so good for yourself, and you're not worrying about the future. You have a super open mind right now. And you have serious appreciation and gratitude for where you are. So more good things are going to come into you, like by the boatload. And you're so deserving of this. So I love that for you, group 2. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below. If you need a private read, the Goddess Provisions box is insane. So check that out too. And a small percentage comes and helps support the channel as well. And on my Etsy store, come see me on Instagram as well. It's Sparkrist11. I do daily posts and memes. And, I really ask people, come on over and see me on my DMs and ask me stuff, whatever it is, if you're going through an issue or just something that's unusual, or, you have a question about somebody, because a lot of you guys are having these great, like astounding spiritual uploads, and you're having the ringing in your ears, the synchronicities. You're seeing grasshoppers, birds, everything over and over, crows, dark cats, and all these little symbols, but over and over and over continually, and like the same numbers in series, and all of these things. And sometimes it's frightening to people because they think that they can be physically unwell, right? Or even mentally unwell, because you're like, why do I hear ringing in my ears and then I feel either calm or hyper or whatever? Huge fluctuations in energy. So just come see me and I'm more than happy to help you. So now we are on to number 3, the Time Guardian, and I'm just gonna have a sip of water. Okay, what this is saying, you have time. And this gives me the greatest peace of mind when I know I have time. If I have to go somewhere, do somewhere, or have an appointment, I like to leave a time buffer, because people become agitated when they are rushed or hurried, right? They think they're going to forget things. That's that person that gets to work and forgets their whatever. They forget their house key. They forget their license. They forget their wallet. They forget their phone. So you're going to be allowing yourself time. There's nothing. So, and this is, procrastination can be, our enemy when it comes to this stuff, because if we're procrastinating to do anything, a paper at work or school, a project, whatever, it has to be completed. Most people buying Christmas presents, waiting to Christmas Eve, that kind of stuff is always to our detriment, because we want a lovely buffer of time so we can be relaxed. You're going to be very masterful at that, because you're realizing you want this new peaceful kind of atmosphere for your life. Look at this artistry. And that's part of when we feel like we have an easy flow and we're not rushed and we have no kind of constraints. I feel like we're more thoughtful to ourselves. Things seem a little more, sporting and fun and, like sociable. You can chat when you're out because you're not racing to go from place to place. It also gives us the opportunity to spot all these beautiful synchronicities and magic that's coming in. And again, opportunities, things that are being brought to our doorstep by spirit, things that are, you know, kind of like karmic rewards and all the symbolism that we're meant to read, that to read, that puts our mind at rest and lets us know that we are divinely protected and guided. I feel like it is a super dynamic time for this group to really be able to delegate your time super smart and really have optimal output. And again, this isn't about racing or doing more. I hate the word busy. I hate the word like getting and doing more, because it's not. It's about being effective and having top quality experiences, because we're allowing for time. We're not trying to race and get. That's one of the things when you go to the zoo with a child and they want to see everything, so you end up seeing nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, there's bears, but there's lions down there, so let's race by that. Oh, let's race by there because there's a butterfly exhibit. Let's race past there. So nobody's really drinking it in. And I remember this one time that we went, I was so excited because the kids wanted to ride these camels, and it was like so great, and they just stopped and everything slowed down and they got to experience the animals. And it wasn't, you know, this hell-bent race to get somewhere. It was about really experiencing what was going on. And you know, we can have these legendary days when we stop and we look and we mellow out and we experience them. So look, you have King of Swords. So again, you're going to be in this great headspace where you're just like being able to think so clear. Okay, now I also feel like you're going to be able to juggle projects and everything with ease. Because of this King of Swords, it's like your mind is going to be like it has some extra gears in it. It's like really brilliant, clear-headed, clever, daring. Like you're going to say and do things that you've never said and done before, because you have this enthusiastic energy to go out and try new things and be more efficient. But you're going to do this all with polish and ease, because you know you already have the skill set. It's like perhaps in the past you've doubted it, or you just had an attempted some of these things, so they might perhaps be latent skill sets. Like if you go sailing, all of a sudden you're an ace at it, or horseback riding or something like that. You have these skill sets. But mostly I feel like this is due to having really streamlined thinking. Like you're not allowing negativity. You're not allowing doubt. You're not allowing things that derail you from the course you want to be on. And you're going to swiftly be able to diffuse any of that energy that says you can't do something or whatever. You're determined, you know, and I feel part of this is you're really appreciative of the skill sets you have, and you're spending time with people that are good for you. Their energy is good for you. They resonate with you. The frequency is the same. So you're not on autocorrect all the time. You ever get with that group you just don't jive with, and they're like what happens is if our frequency and vibration is kind of not attuned in a small group that we're with, we feel it. We feel that like when you put two magnets and they detract from each other, you feel pushed away, because that energy is not a true match. It doesn't mean one's good, bad, or anything. It's pretty indifferent. It just means it is not a match. So you never have to be anybody you're not, or try to prove yourself in your true group. You remember in one of the videos I was talking about people that do the ice out, and they do it because it's a manipulation. They act icy, aloof, aloft, or better than, because they want people to prove. It's human nature to want to prove yourself and gain somebody else's approval. It just is. If people were always doing that for their parents, it comes along in their teen years, even their adult years. If they feel like somebody doesn't like or approve of them, they want to prove themselves to someone. I don't know why they do that, but people that are manipulative and narcissists know this trick. So what they do is they try to act even more aloof. It's a tool of manipulation, but you're going to see right through that with this King of Swords. You're like, oh no, thank you. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I'm fine, thanks. You know, you go do you, and I'll be over here being with more kind, affable people, not someone who wants to be above and, you know, be catered to, because this is all about you cherishing people that love you and vice versa. Again, the bank, we are not doing constantly the deposits and other people withdrawing. We are having equality in our friendships, and we're having equal give and take. And with this Nine of Swords too, this is about, you know, you're approaching a 10 moment where all of a sudden you don't have the 10 of Swords. It can be oppressive or it's too much thinking, but you're about to get to the top of that hill where you have great understanding of something that's been frustrating you for years, something you've been trying to overcome. For some of you, it may be like overindulging in certain things, maybe just sugar, things like that. And it's like all of a sudden in this new year, you're going to go, you know what? I am much more stronger than this little thing I think I need to have, this moment of what I think is so great, because we convince ourselves of things we love, that we want, we like or dislike, right? So you could flip that around very quickly. You tell yourself for 30 days, I don't like sugar and junk food. It makes me heavy, it gives me stomach aches, it gives me poor digestion. I don't like it. Your mind believes what you tell it. So you start to tell it that, and boom, it happens. I don't like to overindulge in food. I don't feel athletic or energetic when I do that. I don't like to overindulge in cigarettes. I can't breathe well and function well. I don't like it. It's corruptive. You can convince yourself of that, right? What you once, if you're like, I have to have a cigarette. So many people are used to saying that after years, I have to have a donut, I have to have that. When you stop that thinking, you say, I never want, instead for that bad thing, and saying, I have to have some exercise, I have to have a beautiful walk. You know what I mean? All of a sudden your mind's like, yes, let's do this. And say it out loud and write it down, because then it kind of like reiterates it in your mind even stronger. So this Two of Pentacles is saying, this can sometimes be you stuck between choices, but in this particular instance, I feel it's grounding energy. I feel like it's you being able to operate on two levels really, really beautifully, logically and on your soul level. So you're able to use your intellect and your heart space. Really beautiful. They kind of make this beautiful, sociable, strong impact with other people, where you can navigate any social structure beautifully, business or otherwise, because you're sitting back and observing very wisely. You're not just jumping in due to nerves or whatever. You're realizing everybody has their gamut. Some people are nervous in different instances, but when we sit back and we really take a bird's eye view of what's going on, you'll see how many people feel uncomfortable. They'll be fidgeting, their faces in their phone, their body language, their arms are crossed, they're not making eye contact. So many people are so uncomfortable out in different demographics that all it takes is a kind, natural soul to approach them and make them feel at ease, and all of a sudden you have a friend for life. I'm serious. If you approach somebody and they're uncomfortable and you put them at ease, it's very helpful, because a lot of people are shy, they have social anxiety, and that's going to be one of your skill sets that you're very capable at, is putting other people to ease. And you also have the Adoration card, which is very nice. So what do the elements and angels really adore? Who do they serve joyously and fearlessly? You. They know the great work that you're here to do on earth. They do their very best in you and in your work. They watch out for you. Because of them, never feel alone. I never do. In my car, I'm always having conversations with quote unquote myself, but they're actually my little fairy friends and all, the entities that surround and protect me and bring me joyous light. Like, I'm serious. I don't even hear my own voice anymore. And it used to just sound like my own voice, because I like comedy and I would make up jokes and songs and lyrics and crazy stuff. But now it's not even my own voice. It's like a whole array of, like, a chorus of just silly critters, and it's like I am never alone, I'm never bored, and I actually sometimes prefer my own company, because that's when they're more prevalent as well. Nobody else here can fulfill your destiny on earth. Adore yourself. Other people are going to start to show their adoration for you in really beautiful, thoughtful ways. So remember to say thank you. It's one of those things where it's island skies when we look for island skies. It's gray glaciers when we look for gray glaciers. So what do you try to say that fast, gray glaciers. So look for things within yourself that you adore, and then other people be a mirror to that, be friendly, and you're just going to enter this world that you didn't even think was possible, where you're highly perceptive in so many ways and so adored and so cherished. So I'm really looking forward to this 2020 for you, Group 3. That's really beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Melanie. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my linkazoids are down below. It has all the information. That little gray arrow brings you to everything. My Etsy store, my Patreon, everything is down there. Thank you guys for ordering your private reads and my jewelry and your feedback and sending pictures of you in the jewelry or your loved ones. It's so sweet. I love that. That makes my days. And thank you for all your beautiful comments. I'm so excited for you guys reaching these new pinnacles in your life. You deserve it. And there's nowhere to go but up, up, up to the stars. So love and light.